Hi, I'm Victor Chiburis. I'm the Assistant Artistic Director at Flock Theater. I'm sitting here in the historic Guard Arts Center in downtown New London, Connecticut, where they've graciously allowed us to use their stage to say hello and get the word out about our summer season to you. Now, when we cast our summer season, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to present it live and in person. But we were able to collaborate with our actors in a way that is safe for them and find a way to safely present it to you. So the production that you are about to see was filmed over Zoom over the course of 2 months. And you're going to be seeing old Flock faces as well as some new faces that we were able to cast from afar. Now, theaters across the globe are at threat of going dark. So we ask that while you watch this production, that you consider donating the regular cost of a ticket admission price, or what you can, whether it be $5, $10, or $20. You can find donation links in the description below or at our website, as well as an address to send cash or check. We hope to see you very soon and in person. So keep an eye out on our Facebook and on our website for upcoming events. And without further ado, please enjoy Much Ado About Nothing.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
Oh, victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad to hear of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy cannot show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Montento returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedick of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedick too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath helped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not mistake my niece, sir. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedick and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So, if he hath wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear that for a difference between himself and his horse. It is all he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer who will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! He will hang upon him like a disease. He is easier caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught the Benedict, it will cost him 1,000 pounds ere it be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
Don Pedro is approached.
Hey!
Hey! Good, Seacole, Leonato. You are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
You embraced your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you endowed, sir, that you asked her?
Senior Benedick, no, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedick. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father. Maybe now in the breakout room we must discuss the events for the evening.
If Senor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder you are still talking, Senor Benedick. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die, having such meat food to feed her as Senor Benedick? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for certainly I love none.
Dear happiness to women, they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. But I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man's where he loves me.
Oh God, keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
Yea, would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, in God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Senior Claudio and Senior Benedick, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer.
Don John, let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato, we will go together.
Benedick, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being the professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she is too low for high praise, too brown for fair praise, and too little for great praise. The only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other, but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sports. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. And there's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary if Hero would be my wife.
Oh, has it come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? You'll go too, in faith, and will stay away Sundays. Oh, look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio. I could be as secret as a dumb man, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love with you. Now that is your Grace's part. Come on, come on. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troth, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved nor know how she should be worthy is an opinion fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. I will not do them wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself right to trust none. And the fine is, I live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
Oh, with anger, with hunger, or with sickness, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. And pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen and hang me up in the door of a brothel house, a sign for blind Cupid.
As time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
Oh, the savage bull may. But if ever the sensible Benedick bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them on my forehead. And let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is a good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedick, the married man.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Well, I look for an earthquake too, then.
In the meantime, good Signor Benedick, repair to Leonato's. Commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost enough matter in me for such an embassage. So I commit you to have
To the tuition of God from my house if I had it.
And so I commit you to have
July, your loving friend.
Nay, mock not, mock not. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me some good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now these war thoughts have left their places vacant, and in come thronging soft and delicate desires, all telling me how fair young Hero is.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her, and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Oh, how sweetly you do minister to love that no loves grief by his complexions. But if my liking my too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. And then after with her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach, wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? News, Borachio.
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marry on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward March chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me, the prince and Claudio, hand in sad conference. And there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheers the greater that I am subdued. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between himself and Benedick. The first is too like an image and says nothing. The other, too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
And half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse. Such a man could get any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou shalt never get thee a husband if I be so shrewd of thy tongue.
For the which blessing I'm on my knees every morning and evening, uncle. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face.
Well, you may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man of some other metal than earth. No, uncle, all none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince is too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewd. The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so, when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one.
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered. Snoochie boochie.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
And will you not tell me who you are?
Not yet.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the blue-collar comedy tour. Why, this was Senor Benedick that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool, only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. I'm sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. Well, but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked or laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I'll leave them at the next turning.
A little bit high, a little bit low, a little bit something I don't know. A little bit high, a little bit down, a little bit right, a little bit wrong, a little bit young, a little bit old, a little bit hot, and a little bit cold.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you Senor Benedick?
You know me well, I me.
Oh, Senor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedick, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, same.
Come, will you go with me? The prince hath got your Hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Do you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I will leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool. It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yeah, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and gives me out. I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord? I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that you hath got the goodwill of this young lady.
What's his fault?
It's a flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it his friend and he steals it.
The transgression is in the stealer.
It had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too. The garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner. The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her that she is much wronged by you.
Oh. She misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, like not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, and duller than a great thaw. Just huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect the North Star. I would not marry her. Though she were endowed with all that Adam had before he transgressed, you didn't come. You talked not of her. Would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may find as much peace in hell as in his sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose to go thither. So, I'll disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
Oh, look, here she comes.
Oh, God, sir. Would your grace would commend me any service to the world's end. I will go now on the slightest errand to Antipodes that thou can devise send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, fetch you a hair of the great Sham's beard, do any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir. This is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lended me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for a single one. And once he wanted me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of all fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you've sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. As civil as in orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and an grace say amen to it.
See, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. My lady, you are mine, I am yours. I give myself to you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
So she doth, cousin.
Good lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone into the world but I. And I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
Ooh, I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days, for your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For, out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, truly my mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry your mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord.
Shall not endure to hear tell of a husband.
No, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they'd talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord.
Oh, not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night.
I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to mount the Lady Beatrice and Signor Benedick into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, if you three would but minister assistance.
Oh, my heart is for you, my lord, if it costs me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach thee how to humor your cousin, that she will fall in love with Benedick. And then I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedick that, despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he will fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
Find it kind of funny.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yeah, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no honesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I'm in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any seasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will do anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know the hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances, which I'll bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret hero. Hear Margaret term me Claudio. And bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that hero shall be absent. And there shall appear such seeming truth of hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Throw this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boy,
Senor.
In my chamber window lies a book. I would have thee hence and bring it here to me in the orchard.
I am here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. Just go. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, becomes the argument of his own scorn by failing in love. And such a man is Claudio. Yeah, I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. Now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now he hath turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. Grazie. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? Huh. I cannot tell. Oh, I think not. I'll not be sworn. Love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. I mean, one woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. I mean, rich she shall be, that's certain. And wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, excellent musician. Her hair shall be of what color it pleases God. Here comes the prince and Monsieur Love over here. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as if hushed on purpose to grace our harmony.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself?
Oh, aye, my lord.
Come, Borachio, we'll hear that song again.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Ready for the very crotchets that he speaks. Note, forsooth, and nothing.
Pow! Click that link, boys!
Hey, nanny, 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 nanny. Hey, nanny, 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 nanny. Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men were deceivers, ever one foot in the sea and one on shore. Till one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nanny, nanny. Oh, hey, nanny, 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 nanny.
By my troth, a good song. I pray thee, get us some excellent music for tomorrow night. We would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of earlier today, that Lady Beatrice is in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh, I stalk on, the foul sits. I never thought that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit?
Well, faith like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Yeah, bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this is a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow says it. Knavery cannot hide in such reverence.
He hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed, and so she says, shall I? She says, that I have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she had writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now, you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest that your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
That!
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, and I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls and weeps and begs and beats her heart and pulls her hair. God, give me patience!
Claudio.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so, and my daughter is sometime afeared that she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
Maybe it were good Benedick knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would just make sport of her and torment the poor lady worse.
And if he should, it were an alms to hang him. She is an excellent, sweet lady, and beyond all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick. I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell Benedick of it, and hear what he will say.
Good, think you?
Well, Hero thinks surely she will die, and she will die if he do not love her, and she will die if she tell him her love, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate her breath to her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should tender her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He hath indeed some sparks that are like wit. Well, I am sorry for your niece. I love Benedick well, and I would wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and the gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They got the truth of it from Hero. I seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am centered. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, she would rather die than give me any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. Ooh, I must not seem so proud. Happy are those that hear the detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness. And virtuous, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it. Wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of a wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live to be married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she is a fair lady. I do spy some sparks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Lady Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a daw withal. You have no stomach, senor. Fare you well.
Aha! Come on, right? Against my will, I am bid send you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for these things than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. I mean, if I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Margaret, find my cousin Beatrice. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the bower. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office.
I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently. Hey, Bee. Yeah, guess what?
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my neutral good lord.
And did they bid her tell you of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as Beatrice should ever couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. So turned she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. 'Twere a better death than die with mocks.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted my dear Claudio.
When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
What fire is in my ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt? Farewell. And maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, and tame my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves into a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great to soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Well, every man may master grief, but he that has it.
Well, if he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs.
Hey, rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say the sweet youth is in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy. Indeed, that tells a heavy tale. Conclude. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay. But I know who loves him.
Yet this is no charm for the toothache. Olsen, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses may not hear.
For my wife to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so, for even now, both Hero and Margaret have played their parts with Beatrice, and now, when the two bears meet each other, they will not bite.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good then, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
Well, I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I will now manifest.
Why? What's the matter?
The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero. Your hero. Every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly. I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it would be a pity if they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Me, Hugh Opcake, sir. Or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. It is thought here that you are the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of them, but let them go. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when bidden, then he's none of the prince's subject.
True. And they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
And how if they will not?
Why, then, let them alone till they be sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And with such men, the less you meddle or mark with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
You may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let himself show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner. If you should hear a child cry in the night, call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why, then depart in peace and let the child wake her with crying. This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, I think they cannot.
Marry, not without the prince be willing. For indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. And good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit here upon the church bench till 2, then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door for the wedding being there tomorrow. Adieu. Be vigilant. I beseech you.
What? Conrad!
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say!
Oh, here, man. I'm at thy elbow. Now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
I know that deformed. He has been a vile thief this 7 year. I remember his name.
Dost thou not hear somebody?
No. Twas the vein on the house.
Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted in place and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And they thought Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio. But the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed him, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her the next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw o'ernight and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
Masters.
Never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
Will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Troth, I think your other gown were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
Why, my troth's not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
Well, my cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Will be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
What, lady?
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am on other tunes, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time we were ready. Oh, by my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hey ho!
A hawk, a horse, or a husband?
What needs the fool, trow?
Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I'm stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed, there's goodly catching of cold.
By thy troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
Ere thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
No, moral, by my troth, no. I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedick, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man alive. Be he an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Why, it pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor Duke's officers.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your lordship's presence, has taken a couple of this errant knaves as any in Messina.
An old man, sir. He will be speaking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. Well said, neighbor Verges. And 2 men ride of a horse, 1 must ride behind.
I must leave you.
1 word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons. We would this morning have them examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
Shall be suffragants.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter unto her husband?
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. We are to examination these men. Get the learned writer to set down these excommunications. Meet me at the jail.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Oh, lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
Oh, now, interjections?
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
There, Leonato. Take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say if I have known her. You will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. Oh, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed her bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Now, on the seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that I've gone about to link my dear friends to a common stale.
Are these words spoken, or do I but dream?
This looks not like a nuptial.
Oh God, defend me. How am I beset?
What man was he talked with you yesterday outside your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed confessed the most vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Phi, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well. Most foul, most fair, farewell.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Hero? Why, hero? How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Why, could she dare deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes. A grieved eye I had but one. Chid I for that at frugal nature's frame? One too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Mine and mine I loved, and mine I praised. Mine that I was proud on? Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. She is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I'm so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, upon my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, was she your bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night she has this 12-month been my bedfellow.
Confirmed, confirmed! Would the two princes lie and Claudio lie who loved her so? Hence from her, let her die.
No, hear me a little. By noting of the lady, I have marked in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, this cannot be.
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me, I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained a change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
The two of them have the very bent of honor. If their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirit toils in the frame of villainy.
I know not. they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. And on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do, friar?
So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her, no, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her as best befits her wounded reputation, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal with this in secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Ah, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
'Tis a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. It's not that strange.
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as easy for me to say that I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not. Yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
No, I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love you not.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee.
Why then God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest that I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me then to deny it. Fare you well.
No, tarry, good Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here.
Beatrice!
I pray you let me go.
No, we'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight mine enemy.
What, is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, God that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
As a man at a window.
Nay, but Beatrice.
True. She is slandered. She is scorned. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties. Surely, a princely testimony, a goodly count. Oh God, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend that would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. Cannot be a man by wishing. Therefore I will die a woman of grieving.
No, tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand he shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go. Comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So farewell.
A stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Oh, pray, write down Borachio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrade.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should come before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are false knaves. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Marvelous, witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come hither, Sirrah. A word in your ear. No, guys, just the one in the red hat. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yay, Mary! That's the eftest way. Bring forth the watch. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
That man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. This is flat perjury. Prince's brother a villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy looks. Promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he have received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary, if ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did, upon his words, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else? You're muted.
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be cancelled and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be cancelled.
Yea, let them be banned.
Off, coxcomb!
God's my life. Where's the sexton? Write down Prince's officer coxcomb, thou naughty varlet.
Oh, wait! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But, masters, remember that I am an ass, though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. Now, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, which is more an officer, which is more a householder, which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in Messina. And one that knows the law, go to. And a rich enough fellow, go to. And a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him, bring him away. Oh, that I had been rid down an ass.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lords. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
By this light, he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. No, I jest not. I will make good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. But when shall we set the savage bull's horns in the sensible Benedick's head?
Yea, and text underneath, here dwells Benedick, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. But I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, has fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard there, I will meet him. Till then, peace be with you.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
But soft you, did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance.
How now? 2 of my brother's men bound, Borachio 1. Officer, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. 6th and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I've deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation. and briefly I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs this speech not like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yeah, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. Why, thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself, and impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house. And since you cannot be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead. And she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, I do embrace your offer.
Tomorrow morning, then, I will await your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains. Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
We will not fail.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Sweet Mistress Margaret deserves well at my hands by helping me to this speech of Beatrice. Just beet rice. A fair maid without lice. Her eyes are not nothing like the sun. I like you a wicked ton.
Huh.
Wicked ton. I like that ending.
Wicked ton. Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, no man living shall come over it. For, in most homely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as a greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
Most manly wit, Margaret, will not hurt a woman. Now, I pray you, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords. We have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice. They are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice, who I think hath legs.
Therefore will come to shoot you. Bye-bye. God above sits above and knows me how pitiful I deserve. I ain't mean in singing, but in loving. Leander and Troilus were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary. I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady. But baby. Yeah, I don't like that. An innocent rhyme for scorn. Horn. Hard rhyme for school. Zool. Shul? Fool! Babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice! Wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
I'll stay but till then.
Then as spoken, fare you well. But ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words are but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
I must tell thee plainly then. Claudio undergoes my challenge. I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. Now, I pray you, tell me for which of my bad parts thou first fall in love with me.
For all of them together. For they maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not allow any good parts to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, methinks.
Yes.
Alas,
Oh.
your heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I can never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Now tell me, how does your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. I'll leave thee there too. Here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, be buried in thy eyes, and moreover, I will go with you to your uncle's.
Are we all prepared?
Yes, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death and guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am doomed. Now, music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
Yawn in ye
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
So am I, being else by faith enforced to call Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves. And when I send for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me. Or undo me. One of those. Signor Leonato, truth it is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the Prince, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill may stand with ours. To this day be conjoined in a state of honorable in a state of honorable marriage, for which, good friar, I do desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth. Here's the friar ready.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see her face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. Hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. When, after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
The soft and fair friar. Which of you is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Shrubs, no. No more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her, for in my hand is a paper written in his own hand. Oh, it's a halting sonnet of his own pure brain fashioned to Beatrice. Oh,
and here's another, written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
It's a miracle. Our own hands against our hearts. Yeah, I will have thee by this light. I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion. Hardly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Yeah, peace. I will stop your mouth. Give me some sugar, baby.
How dost thou now, Benedick, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Do you think I care for satire or an epigram? In brief, since I do propose to marry, I shall think nothing to any purpose the world can say against it. Therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. Man is a giddy thing. This is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee. But, since thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin. Come, we are friends. Let us have a dance ere we are to be married, to lighten our own hearts.
We shall have dancing afterwards.
First of my word, therefore play music. Ah, Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My lord, your brother John has taken flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Now, think not on him till tomorrow, or I will devise brave punishments for him. Now strike up, pipers!
Hey, nani, nani, hey, nani, nani. Hey, nani, nani, hey, nani, nani. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever, one foot in the sea and one on shore. To one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go. And be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nani, nani.